Ladies and gentlemen, my darling's distractions.
Life finds a way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to My Darling's Distractions. We're back.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my goodness, are you excited?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a stretch. It's funny, I was just kind of reminiscing on our last episode where I think I said something along the lines of, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
We'll be able to do some regular recording again. And it just hasn't happened.
Did we make that promise?
I don't know if we made the promise, but
Yeah.
I'm imagining there are people out there who felt a little betrayed by what I said. And so for that, I apologize.
I'm sorry for that. Oh, it feels so good to be sitting here again. I found myself getting really excited. I hope you are too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm aware of our topic for tonight. This is one that you've put together.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for the conversation we're going to have around it.
Yeah, it's as I'm thinking about it and planning it and getting ready for it, I'm thinking this might be my most self-indulgent episode ever.
The farther we go into this podcast,
I know.
the more self-indulgent we get. We're going to just, in the future episodes, it's just going to turn into a point where we just make a reference to something only the two of us know about.
Oh, yeah.
And we
Because
can... Yep.
that's what this is for,
That's
right?
We can only hope that by the end we have alienated our entire audience, and it is
Right.
simply the only people who can bear to listen to it are just the two
Wouldn't
of
that be
us.
funny? Like just a podcast episode of like inside jokes.
Yeah. I mean,
It'd be funny
we've had
for
some
us.
of we've had some of those that are not very far off. So.
Well, truth be told, we're probably the only ones that are going to be listening to these over and over again sometime in the future. So why not? Why not
Yeah,
do
when
them?
do you think we'll go back and listen to these? I don't know. It's one of those things you
Yeah.
think, when do you sit down and look at old pictures? When do you sit
Sure.
down and like...
Well, I guess something that we can say is we might be the only ones that listen to them more than once,
Oh, yeah.
more than twice,
Yes.
more than 3 times.
Right.
With all the editing and
Yes, you're right.
and then even after it's done, I'll listen to it at least twice.
It is kind of a sweet thought to think that maybe maybe in like 2060, 2070, when
Yeah.
we're like 80, 90 years old,
Yeah.
in theory, if we have the wherewithal to
Mm-hmm.
like pull up an old episode, we could pull up and listen to what life was like when we were in our 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
How
who knows? I
different
mean,
it
by
will
that
be.
time, that's probably what people were saying when they did like literal record recordings of themselves. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, oh, I'll listen to this forever. Well, you can't listen to that anymore. I mean,
You could,
you
but
could. It's
who
a lot of
does?
work. And who knows? I don't think I'm going to be a very good old man. You know what I mean?
No.
No, I think I'm going to just, I don't know. I'm probably going to be crabby.
Okay.
And there's just probably going to be a lot of problems that I have with life. And so who knows
So
if I'll be seeking
you will
joy.
You will retreat, alienate everyone in your life.
That's right.
Is what you're saying.
And then
you won't want to
day-
remember a thing.
One day I stumble into a room and I find an old computer, and my frail old fingers find the power button and I turn it on, only to discover old podcast episodes that we'd recorded.
That your family has left there for you,
That's
hoping
right.
someday you'll come around.
And it breaks through my hard exterior and it softens
And you
my
look
heart.
around and everybody's gone.
What,
It's
Deb?
too late.
Deb.
It's too late.
Mine was going to be a good story. You just turned it into a horrible story. All right. Speaking of self-indulgent,
Yeah.
that was a self-indulgent intro.
Oh, well, it's summer. You know what? I'm proud of us because we are, like 2 weeks officially into summer, and we are already looking like very sun-kissed.
Well, as of today, I've gotten
Yeah.
the sun did a little more than kiss me today. I'm feeling it. Yeah, we spent some time out in the sun.
It was fun. But we got some things done, and we're feeling good about that. And hopefully all of the listeners are having a good summer, too. We will admit that we hesitated in coming back and doing some taping.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about what's going on in the world, all over the world, and culture and movements and things that we can get behind and things that we feel strongly about and sympathetic to, and things that we're considering, and so it just felt not wrong, but strange to maybe put our voice out there with all the other voices going on. But with all of that being said, we felt like it was a good time also to revisit and just have a conversation with each other.
Yeah. So I guess like Deb has said, I have definitely felt I've felt okay just kind of stepping back and letting other voices that have maybe not had the place to talk as a person. I think as a person I've experienced enormous privilege in my life, and so we probably don't need more of my type of voice. So anyway.
But hopefully I know it'll be fun for us,
Yes.
and hopefully this will be fun and enjoyable for others. Luke, I did tell you what my idea was
Yes.
for a podcast, and I will go ahead and reveal it to the audience.
Yes, please do.
My idea for the podcast tonight, was to have it be a moment in time podcast episode.
I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be.
Yeah, so a little bit more about that. So the idea is you make a list of maybe 10 songs that within the first, I was kind of going off of like the first 10 seconds or first 5 seconds of the song, you're immediately taken back to a time and place, a moment in time in your life. And I just thought it would be fun to share those memories. And
Yeah. And I will say, I made my list upon your recommendation.
Yeah.
In my list, it's not necessarily the first 10 seconds or 5 seconds, but there's just like little clips like of a song that like as soon as I hear that, like I'm instantly teleported to a moment in time
Yes.
where that was meaningful or just memorable in some way. So yeah, very similar, but maybe not for mine. Maybe just not the first couple of seconds.
Sure, yeah.
But same idea.
It's going to be really hard for me during the editing of this to not want to include
Yeah.
a clip of like every single
Right.
song mentioned.
I think we're gonna have to be like really restrained. And,
I
like,
don't know.
Yes, I think
I
we
mean,
have to be
or
restrained.
do we just say, you know what, this is the really long one, you guys?
No.
What? Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
Okay. Well, mine. This is my pledge to you, dear listener, is I will be restrained and I will try to keep it to just these 10. I know we could be sitting here all day, but that would be just
Yeah.
too self-indulgent. I think.
Oh, okay. I might do it,
Okay.
dear listener. I do promise and have already started a Spotify list
good for you,
for
Deb.
this episode. So if you
I'll give you a hint, Deb. Mine would be nearly impossible to make a Spotify list of.
Really?
Some of mine are obscure.
Whoa, I'm interested. So anyway, if you want to find every single song except for maybe Luke's,
Yeah. That's
if
right.
you want to find the songs that we've mentioned during this episode, you can find me on Spotify and look for the playlist called Moment in Time Podcast.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. All right, I think we're ready to enter the portion of the podcast that we call Quiz Me, Baby.
So it's interesting you call this portion Quiz Me, Baby. Are we really quizzing
Yeah.
each other? Oh, okay. So explain for me that, because I don't actually know how I'm going to quiz you. So explain to me the rules.
Okay. So you are going, or I am going to play for you, and maybe you'll do the same for me in return, a portion of the song, and we'll just give the other person a chance to maybe say what it is before we reveal.
To say the song or the moment in time?
To say the song.
Oh, okay.
And then
sure.
the other person will just
Oh, yeah.
say, okay, why is this significant to my life?
All right. So just, a guess of a song title. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a quiz.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to go first, Luke?
Oh, I would. All right. So, Deb, and I'm going to try to not be over indulgent just in talking about each of these 10 clips that I've selected.
Your
but
story. You're going to
Yes.
try and keep your story
I'm
short.
going to try to keep my story short because that's probably where I'll
Well,
struggle.
and I'm not the best storyteller, so I might be able to say, yeah, this is when I was this, and that might be
That
all
might
I
be
know.
the whole story.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's jump in.
Okay.
Deb, this is my first moment in time.
Okay.
Are we walking into the enemy's camp, laying our weapons down, shedding our armor as we go, leaving it on the ground? We've gotta be strong in the power of His might, through We are the army of the Lord, and we've won the victory.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me, first of all, what's the name of that song?
I mean, is it Army of the Lord?
It is Army of the Lord.
Oh, good.
by-
Yeah, I've heard it before. Is it Go Fish?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's by the group Acapella.
Oh yeah.
So that,
Okay.
Deb, this is my first moment in time, and the reason I chose this song is because Acapella was one of my dad's favorite groups. And
Oh, I didn't
this,
know that.
Yeah, and so this song was specifically off the tape, the cassette tape we had called Conquerors.
Mm-hmm.
And so my moment in time is whenever I hear that song, my dad just loved, that specific part of the song, and he would sing. My dad sings along with everything. He sings.
He's a singer.
He sings all the time.
Yeah.
And so he would sing along with that, and I'm picturing myself in our Nissan Stanza,
Okay.
which is an odd, maybe an odd name for a vehicle, but our Nissan Stanza. It was a hatchback kind of vehicle.
I always think of Seinfeld when I
Yep,
hear that.
that's Costanza, but yeah, same
yep,
idea. We did call it the Nissan Costanza.
Oh, good. That makes
but
me
anyway,
happy.
so we'd be sitting in there and we'd punch that tape into the tape deck, and we'd get to this song of the. I don't know how we didn't fast forward. We just got to there.
Yeah.
And when we got there, my dad would really rock out
Would he
in his
turn it
own
up?
special way.
Yeah.
I don't know if my dad ever turned anything up, which is so
Oh,
bizarre.
yeah.
I mean, he probably sang loud, but I don't. My dad was never a turn it up type guy
Okay.
that I know of.
Oh yeah, that's our MO.
Yeah.
Turn
So
it
by the
up.
way, Deb, this song was released in 1986. So I was only 4. So I'm probably.
Oh, wow.
So this is probably a memory for me from maybe like 1987, 1988. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I have a very strong memory of this. So
And I mean, you guys were probably doing a lot of driving to the city, you know?
Yep, yeah.
You drove a ton,
we
I
went
bet.
to at one point in there, we went to church in the city.
Yeah.
At different times, but yeah,
You had some good drives.
Sunday drives. It was Sunday drives into the city. We got to eat out once a week, and we were given $2 to spend however we wanted
That
on
went
our
far.
lunch.
I mean, that was plenty.
Yeah, $2 on a lunch is not bad. It was not. There was a point in time where I'm like, this isn't feeding me anymore.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, it did its job.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm ready with my first one.
Okay,
Thank you, Luke, for that
Yes.
first share.
you're welcome.
Here is my first submission.
Darling, hold my hand. Oh, won't you hold my hand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk on my own anymore. Won't you understand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk alone. I'm ready for this. There's no denying. I'm ready for this. You stop me falling. I'm ready for this. I need you holding. I'm ready for this. So darling,
Oh, it's so good.
As soon as I got it right away, that's a very. I'm gonna guess that's the most recent.
Yeah,
Of all of your moments in time.
it is.
And the song is. I'm gonna have to like think through the lyrics, but it's maybe like "Take My Hand."
Hold my hand.
Darling, hold my hand. Yeah,
Or
it's
just hold my hand. Yeah. By Jess Glenn, maybe is how you
Okay.
pronounce the last
And
name.
I think that's actually been featured. I think that was maybe featured on our last episode. Did we include that?
Oh,
no,
maybe.
I can't remember.
Maybe
I think,
it has been on one of the episodes, but yeah, it is my most recent moment in time. It brought me a lot of joy during the quarantine pandemic crisis. It's funny because I'm sure I've heard that song before, but it didn't really mean anything at all to me until I saw a father and daughter duo do a dance to that song as like a viral video. And I fell in love with that song, and I played it every day, multiple times a day for, I don't know, about a good week. And then now we just kind of periodically bring it up, but it brings me so much joy.
it's a good get going song.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
All of a sudden I'm in the living room where the kids and I were dancing. We're trying to duplicate the dance that the father and daughter do. It's fun.
Yeah, you're teleported all the way back to 3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good one. All right, Deb, are you
Okay.
ready for my next moment in time?
Yep.
Now we come to the payoff.
Down with the one that is known as a son of the G to the O to the D. Never done with the flow and the note on the go like a pro, not for show. Cause I ain't in the biz for the dough or the me or the ray or the dough. Gotta stay cause I can't take it home anyway. Never trite when I write cause the Lord is my light and his word is my bond. So you know, he's alright.
Alright,
So Still Alright by DC Talk.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so my moment in time, you're going to notice something that's interesting as I reflected on what kind of my growing up music experience was like.
Yeah.
Is you're probably going to find early on there was an age in which secular music was not allowed in our house.
Yeah.
I remember even like sometimes I remember having a conversation with my mom trying to convince her that the Beach Boys were okay to listen to in our house.
Oh, yeah.
And she was just like, no, there's just better stuff. And I totally understand their argument. There's plenty of things out there. Out of all the things to listen to, there's lots of good Christian music, and so we listen to a lot of really good Christian music. And this was one that went to a moment in time for me because we got a home stereo with a CD player.
Oh, that was the big time.
And got a CD player.
Was it a 6-disc?
It was a 5-disc rotating CD player.
See, we never had one of those.
And this has carried me through to this point even still, where like I have a really hard time listening to music I love on small speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that time this was like an entire cabinet with a with a loadable disc drive
tray.
tray and had a tape deck, but also had like 4-foot tall speakers that sat on either side of it, and we would just crank that thing as kids. So that was DC Talk. Jesus Is Just All Right is the name of the track, and that's from 1992. And so that specific point in the song, I remember we would like seek, because you could seek now with the CD players.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we would like go back and you'd seek back to that point.
To that specific part.
And you would go and then you'd listen to it, and then we just listen to that breakdown a bunch. And so that's just a very, very poignant memory of having the CD player, these super loud speakers, and just blasting them in our house. When it came to buying a CD player on my own, my first CD player I specifically remember was an RCA that I bought for $130 of my own money after working for a summer.
And that's just like a sit on the dresser.
A boombox. Yeah, a little boombox
yeah.
CD player. And specifically, the criteria I would use to decide whether it was a good CD player or not was how fast the disc cover came up when you
you pushed it?
When you pushed on it and the disc cover would come up. If I pushed it and it popped right up, I'm like, I've just walked right by you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So no, I wanted it nice and slow. That's how I knew it was quality.
How? Like, is that something that you heard from someone?
No,
or
that was just my
your
opinion.
Own thing?
My opinion was the construction quality, because it's easy to make something spring up,
Yeah.
but to have like it be something that rises.
See,
not
I
slow.
never, ever would have considered that.
Oh, yeah. So that's the reason I just chose that one, and it lasted me that $130. I think we even were still using it. Maybe when we were building this house, I might have used it on the roof or something while we were.
Yeah.
But then it died. So.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready for my next one.
All right, Deb, let's hear it.
Okay. What? Nothing?
Well, so the tones definitely give me like a Disneyland, Disney World vibe.
Yeah.
And so my only guess is I couldn't think of what the name of this would be. But my guess is it's something that happens in Epcot and some sort of like a world salute to the world or World's Fair or We Are the World type Disney stuff.
Michael Jackson's gonna start singing at any point.
Right? No. But I definitely strikes me as a Disney fireworks show background music.
Yeah. This is the Illuminations song from Epcot.
Okay. Yeah.
During their Reflections of Earth evening show.
I mean,
you know.
I do know that. I don't know the specific part of it.
No.
But it's funny, like, I don't know, I don't know. I always think that's so funny, like, Reflections of Earth. It's just the most just obscure.
Generic.
Well, and it's just so obscure when you're out there, like, what am I watching?
Well, just fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks.
That's all you're watching is fireworks.
Like, I know I'm supposed to be, like, understanding, like, they're telling a story, and sometimes Disney goes over my head with some of the stuff they do.
Yeah, well, Epcot's all about the world, you know,
Right,
and so I think it was like, come together, we are one. I don't know, but
Fireworks.
I went in the summer of 2000 with my sisters, most of my sisters, 2 out of 3, and my mom, and we were like, yeah, let's meet back here for this night show. We'll have this spot, and I think Mom and Liz like stayed there. And Paige and I were like, we're going to go and look at this. It was like around, Epcot is a big circle. And so we were like on the way other side, like maybe where Morocco is or something. And I don't know why. I don't know if we were like gonna go shopping for something. That was probably it. We wanted to shop for something before we left. And then
There's
we're
a
like,
very specific
Yes.
tchotchke you
Yeah.
guys were probably looking for.
yes. And so we're like, well, we'll be back by the time this starts. And it started while we were over there. And we were like, oh no, we're going to miss it. But it was the most fun, memorable thing that I've ever experienced at Disney. The fireworks were going off and the music was so loud. I think that's one of the reasons I just love Disney, is because like the music is so loud. And so we were walking back to our spot that they had saved for us, and it was just fun to feel like kind of like we were a part of it, because we were like not where we were supposed to be, where everybody else was.
nice,
So it was kind of fun to yeah, that was very fun, very memorable.
Nice. That is a good moment in time.
Yeah, that's my Disney moment.
All right, Debbie, you ready for my next one?
Yep.
This one is going to be weird, and it might, I think, correspond with something you've got going on later. All right.
All right. Did you look at my list?
Nope, but I'm just guessing.
Okay.
And the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. 'Cause the devil will drag you under by the sharp lapels of your checkered coat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat.
I mean, that's a very familiar song, Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat. I don't know who sings it. I also have no idea why you picked this song.
Yeah, this is a very specific moment in time song for me, and I think it's a song that, like, I don't know, it's just so bizarre how I happen to hear it. So, as you know, I did not listen to secular music growing up.
Yeah.
So this song was Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat. It's the Don Henley version from 1992 that was included into the soundtrack of the Steve Martin movie Leap of Faith.
Oh.
And became popular because it was included in that soundtrack and actually hit like number 13 on the Billboard charts like in 1993. So I'm 10 or 11 years old, and I was just starting to have a lot of sleepovers.
Oh, okay.
And so this was one of those things where I would sleep at night to like a tape of something being played, and I'd fall asleep to it, usually like a Christian kids, production, Salty or something along those lines, and I'd fall asleep to it. But I had some friends. This is a specific memory I have of my friend Greg. We called him Eddie, and I was over at his house, and they would listen to the radio all night long.
Sure, yeah.
And so I was asleep at his house, and you know how you sleep at a friend's house and like you wake up to weird things.
Oh, yeah.
So I wake up in the middle of the night multiple times to this song being played because it was 93 and it was pretty popular at the time at our local station. And I remember like waking up like 2 or 3 times during the night, and every time I woke up, this song was playing. And like I kind of started to get creeped out because it's this song about falling out of a boat and being dragged down by the devil. And like,
Oh, yeah.
and so, like, I just remember I'd hear it, and I was just like, in my brain, I'm like, well, this is the reason we don't listen to secular music. So this was like,
song is too creepy.
I know, yeah. And so in my brain, this was like one of the creepiest songs that you could play for me about that age, because it's like, and it's just kind of weird and melodic and kind of, it's got like a bit of a reggae beat.
Yeah, and it's just weird to hear it at night. It's weird to hear any song when you wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and it's like in the middle of the night, and so I definitely, it was just a bizarre experience that I only have the context for this song, which I think was originally released, I did a little bit of research, in like 1950, and I think was included in maybe, I don't know, there may be a different version of this from different eras, but I think originally 1950, and this was a remake by one of the guys who was in the Eagles.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Don Henley.
Okay. And I know what song you're referring to for
I do.
me.
Is it on the list?
It's not.
Do you want to share that story?
Yeah, so the
You
song,
might have already shared this, but
I don't know, maybe. I think I've shared it recently with my family, but that song for me is Joyride by Roxette.
And how does that go? That's like,
Come on, join the joyride.
yeah, and it's got kind of a weird beat to it too.
Oh, and then there's like a whistle part. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a creepy song memory for me. I woke up in the middle of the night and that song was on, but it came on right after one of those like scare you commercials where they were
Scared
trying
Straight type
scare straight commercials. I mean, imagine waking up in the middle of the night, the radio, and there's this Scared Straight commercial about a girl who took too many pills, and then Joyride comes on, and
Just kind of, is that a song
creepy.
about drugs? Come on, join the joyride.
Is it a song about what?
Drugs.
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Come on, join the- yeah. I'd have to look back through the lyrics.
Yeah, I do. It did not. It made my honorable mention list,
okay.
but not my top 10.
Yeah. So anyway, that was mine, and so that was me at 1993.
Okay,
My
nice.
first foray into secular music.
You're rocking the boat, Luke.
That's right. I was rocking the
boat. Okay, here's my next one.
Okay.
Your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brains. I knew I wouldn't forget you, and so I went and let you blow my mind.
You know it.
I do. Yeah. So that's Train.
Yes.
The group is Train, and the song is Soul Sister.
Yes.
And I'm trying to just pick out.
And I
moment
think
in
it's called
time.
Hey Soul Sister.
Oh, Hey Soul. But I'm trying to pick out the moment in time, and I'm thinking it's about the time that one of our daughters was born.
Yeah, our firstborn. I looked it up to see if I was late to the game on this song, and I actually wasn't. Our daughter was born in 2009, and I would sing her this song, and it, just the part that says, "Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. Mister?"
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio?
And so all the rest of it, I wasn't really singing to her, but that chorus I was. And it just takes me back to like being really tired and like when I didn't know what else to say and when I didn't know what else to like. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I mean, you were gone. And so I didn't know
You're
what to
home
do. I
alone
didn't know what
with
to
the
say.
baby.
And I would like change her diaper and just start singing this song to her. So
Did
it's
she ever
kind
sing
of-
it back to you? Like
Now?
now? Does she have
she
any
knows it now.
recollection?
I told her that this is kind
okay.
of her song. I sang it to her when she was a baby, and so now she knows it. It's
Oh.
special to her now.
That's
yeah.
good. It's a good moment in time, Deb.
Yeah, it takes me back.
All right, Deb, here is my next moment in time.
I wanna be in the light, as you are in the light. I wanna shine like the stars in the heavens. Oh, Lord, be my light and be my salvation. 'Cause all I want is to be in the light. All I want is to be in the light. All I want is to be in the light.
That is such a good one. That's one of my favorites for sure. Oh yeah, In the Light by DC Talk.
It is, yeah. DC Talk made it twice onto my like very memorable list. So this is a moment in time for me because this was high school. I had my own room. We had moved to our new house where we lived outside of town, and having my own room, part of that is I got a CD player that was also a clock. And you could set your alarm.
Someone gave it to you.
I don't know if I got it for Christmas or
okay.
bought it myself. I'm not sure how I got this.
Yeah.
So we've jumped forward since my last one. We've jumped forward
It's
2
just
years.
so strange to me to have a CD player as a child.
Yeah.
Because I was like told we couldn't have one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No, I had one. And so this is 1995. So I think this is that my freshman year or that's maybe my 8th grade year, something like that. It was probably my freshman year when I really got into it. But I had the Jesus Freak CD from DC Talk, and I would put it in this radio or this CD player radio clock, and I'd set the alarm to play the CD, and I would set every night. I would set the song. I would seek in the song to that moment in time where they go a cappella.
Oh, yeah.
And I would listen, and so that's what I'd wake up to every morning throughout maybe my freshman year of high school.
Nice. Oh, it's
Yeah.
a good, it's nice, gentle
Yeah, it was.
way to
Yeah,
wake
it's a
up. Mm-hmm.
little bit gentle, and I didn't. So I've done that with a couple of songs.
Yeah.
One that would have made my that would have made my list is a song, an album called "Above the Clouds,"
Oh,
and
yeah.
it
I
is
know
one of
what
those
you're
that
talking about.
I put on when we were first married,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd have to get up at 4 a.m. to go to Sam's Club and work in their freezer cooler department.
Right.
And I ended up hating
Yeah, we
everything on
both.
that
We
album.
hated that song.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. Yeah, it's
And-
really garbage. I mean, it's just it's pretty innocuous, but you
Yeah.
associate the horrible feeling of you've only been asleep for like maybe 4 hours.
Yeah, and it's funny when it would come on after that, we would both just groan,
Yes.
like turn it off.
Yeah, this was a song that woke me up as a freshman in high school, and I don't hate it. I still really like it. So
Oh,
that must
wow.
speak to its enduring quality.
Well, yeah, or you were just getting really good sleep and you
I
didn't mind
was-
waking up.
I was sleeping so much better as a high schooler than I am
Yeah.
now. Like, I mean, we just went to bed. I mean, I don't think anybody in our house was awake past 10.
Wow,
I know, isn't that nuts?
it is for
Now
me.
the night just starts for us. At
Yeah,
3 o'clock now.
yeah, that's true. Okay, here's my next one.
All right.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love, although it was so strong.
Do you know it?
Is it? I wonder. It's like I wah 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 wah.
Yeah, that's part of it, but it's called Runaway.
Oh, Runaway.
A run, 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 run away.
Okay.
You know it?
I do know that song, but I can't think of any moment in time that would be. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's by Del Shannon. And so my mom had a record player and lots of records while I was growing up. And it was one of the best things to spend a summer day downstairs going through the records. And Runaway by Del Shannon was one of the songs that we listened to over and over again. Some of the other ones that I could remember were Blueberry Hill by Fats Domino.
And I've heard you reference that. And it
Yeah.
seems like that's come up in a quiz before, maybe.
Oh, maybe. And American Pie. And the theme song to Greatest American Hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
And then another one was Put Your Hand in the Hand of the
I know that one.
man who... Yeah, that one.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who steals the water.
Those ones we listened to just a ton, and yeah, there's a lot of good memories. But I had to pick one, and I think Runaway was probably the most memorable.
The most. It's the one you most. Did you guys ever do the thing where you turned and like adjusted the speed to where it wasn't supposed to go?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I even remember my mom saying something like, "You're not supposed to do that."
Yeah. I mean, does it scratch the record?
I don't know. I don't know.
We had a record player for a short amount of time, and my mom had some like Disney records.
Oh.
I'm sure are pretty valuable today because they had beautiful art on the record, like the art.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I remember we always adjusted the speed, and then we'd put toys on them, and it like
Oh.
I know, like we'd put little figurines on them, so as they were going around, they would like hit the needle and bump it off. But like it was more a toy than a musical instrument for us.
Record players sure were fun.
Yeah, for more than just records, turns out.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a good memory. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, your turn.
Let's see here. All right, so Deb,
Yeah.
I think if I got to look at my list here, I think this is where things get a little bizarre. Because
That sounds promising.
so some of these were like definitely like songs that like all of them have been like pretty much like songs. But I think I'm
Yeah.
getting to the point where some of these things are just like just obscure enough, like I said, that you wouldn't be able to make a Spotify playlist maybe out of everything that I've got here. So
Interesting.
we'll see if okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my fifth memory.
Okay. Oh, that's got to be a James Bond video game. Is it GoldenEye?
It is. Good job, Deb. Yeah, that's the N64 game, GoldenEye, and
Yeah.
that took me back. So this was a game that came out in 1997. So just a couple years further down the road than In the Light. And for me, it takes me to a spot because it was the first time I had played a game with like friends where we played competitively. And I quickly found out how much better I was at video games than all of my friends. Like I think
That's empowering.
it was. Like I remember, I'm sure I've told this story before, but I can't help but not tell it. I had kind of gotten the reputation for being very good at 007 GoldenEye, which is like the most popular game late in high school.
For a long time.
For a while, yeah. And so I just got this reputation for being very good at it. We went to watch the state football tournament my senior year, and we took an N64 with us.
To the
hooked it up
hotel.
to the hotel, yeah. And so we sat in the hotel playing it, and I remember, like, people stayed up all night for some weird reason, but I remember I fell asleep, woke up at 3 a.m., somebody handed me a controller, and just destroyed everybody, and then went immediately back to sleep. Everybody was talking about the next day. Is like, even like in my like total, whatever you want to call it, like near comatose state in a hotel room, I could just wake up and like wipe the floor with all my friends at this game.
Where did you get all your practice? Did you own it?
I owned it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I owned an N64. Yeah, with GoldenEye, and I played a ton of it with friends. It was kind of the thing. People would come over. I get to the point where in that game you do a thing called spawning, which is where you appear and then you fight and then you die and then you respawn somewhere else. I had memorized the starting locations of all the spawns in certain levels, so I could go around, and there was a weapon called a proximity mine that when you stood close enough to it, it would just blow you up. So I would just lay those down every time a person would respawn. They'd instantly blow up, and I just do a lap around the level. I mean, it's infuriating, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
So.
I remember going over to, like, in high school, late high school, going over to people's houses, and the boys would just be sitting there playing that
Isn't
game.
that annoying?
Yeah, and I had no idea. I mean, it was novel. I had never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And they were even still playing it when I went to college.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
It was around, like, popular for a very long time.
Yeah. And then it got knocked off its pedestal by Halo.
Halo. I was just gonna say. So then Halo.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Halo that was in
Probably.
college. That's
yeah.
what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm
they
sure
were
it
very
was.
similar. Like the grid screen,
Yeah,
like
four,
four players. I remember that.
Yep.
Both of them had that.
Quite a point in time for me in my life.
Okay, I have the next one.
All right.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Not too hard at all to guess what
Yeah,
that
I
song
know.
is.
Deb,
Yeah.
I think I don't know how many times you've shared this story on the podcast.
Oh, really?
But I think I could tell it for you.
Oh, okay.
So this
have I
is-
shared it before?
Yeah. I think
All right.
I could be
okay.
wrong. I could be wrong. And maybe
It's all right.
I just,
It's true nonetheless. It is a moment in time
so
song.
that is We Built This City.
Yep, by-
I don't know. The
Starship?
Starship. Okay. That sounds right. Anyway, this is a song, and I can't tell you which grade you were in,
Okay.
but there was a definite, I can't think
It's
of
because
the-
it's not just one
Oh,
grade.
okay. And I can't think of the teacher's name.
Okay, it was like all elementary school. It was my gym teacher, Miss Vovis. Why does that sound so weird now? But yeah, Miss
It is kind of
Vovis.
a weird name.
Uh-huh.
But so she put that on when you guys were doing like warm up, like
Yeah.
running, like all right, let's start to like
Oh, yeah.
start class.
It was
and,
our
like,
warm-up
It
lap.
was your warm up lap, and
Yeah.
so she blasts that out, and
Yeah.
you guys are running around getting warmed up for PE.
It was, I mean, we would get in, we would tie our shoes, and she would, like, I don't even think there was a warm up, like, talk. It was just, all right, let's go. And I think
She let the music do the talking.
we built this city. And so it was that one, or do you remember the other one?
No.
The locomotion.
Oh, I guess maybe you have said that. Yeah.
So there was that one, and then I think there was like a time that she tried out a third one, but it didn't stick.
It didn't take. It didn't. So what did the kids just stop? Like without locomotion or We Built the City, you guys stopped running.
It was just weird.
Just staring dead
Yeah.
at her face. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we don't like this song as much.
That's right.
Yeah, it was for sure those two songs every day or every time we went. You know, you only go like twice a week.
Do you know if I was a PE teacher,
Okay,
and I
what?
were put in her position, you know what I
Yeah.
would pick? Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now." That is a great song to like get running to.
Yeah. Yeah, so many good choices. I always love it when I go to pick up my students from gym and Coach D has the stereo going.
Yeah.
And he's got some good music playing. Yeah, I think that's what I would do too. I would always play music to whatever you're doing.
Little known fact, all PE teachers in their heart are actually DJs. Little known fact.
Oh, maybe I should have been a PE teacher.
Not too late, Deb.
I missed the boat.
I've always heard those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach PE. Don't tell Coach D I said that.
Yeah, well,
It's
I'm
also
not too
true.
happy about
Also
what you
not
said
true.
there.
I know. Yeah. As a former teacher, I'm not super
right.
happy with that adage either. Okay. Are you ready for my number 6?
Yep.
All right, Deb. I'm going to give you a hint. This one, I am finishing out, going 2 years in the future, 1998. I'm finishing out my time as a high schooler.
Okay.
And this encapsulates.
I'm kind of jumping all around, and you might be going in some sort of order.
I'm chronologically working through. Yeah, so
well, that's
here we go.
a fun difference.
I'm capping out high school with this.
Okay.
So gather up your jackets, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Yeah, I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want.
I mean, if that isn't a snapshot in
Of the
time,
class of 2000.
or the class of 2001?
No. That was, well, actually, okay. I'm surprised you did, if you're going to close out your high school time, I'm surprised you didn't pick Vitamin C
No, that was
graduation
I think that was
song.
too early. I think that was, maybe it was that summer, but I think we just didn't catch us in time. Like
Really?
we were like headed out the door,
Really?
not really listening to music. I mean, I shouldn't say no, they were listening, but like it just, I don't remember that being a big song.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Maybe it just
Maybe I'm getting the years confused because I
Maybe.
feel like Vitamin C was your year. I remember thinking, oh, that would have been a good one for me. Too bad it came too early. And then was Closing Time.
No, so this
My year?
released in 1998.
Oh, no. So,
But like,
no,
I think
definitely not.
in small Iowa town fashion, we don't always get things right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like relatively soon. So I would say even like maybe a class before us might have gotten this.
Mm-hmm.
I just know like this is what it wasn't so much like graduation times, but it'd be like homecoming dances and proms.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you'd
Oh, the last song.
Yeah, it would be like one of the last songs you'd play this, and like. I don't know. I just remember at the time, like I have a snapshot in my mind of being at like a homecoming dance or like a prom or something. And you're just like, you're so self-indulgent and like self-infatuated, and you are just like, this is like the time of my life, and like you're like, what wisdom in this song. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
This is our song.
Yeah, I think it was very narcissistic time. Well, I mean, not to say that this isn't. I mean, I'm recording a podcast talking about myself, things that meant a lot to me. So
yes.
this is also a beautifully narcissistic time.
Oh, a beautifully narcissistic podcast.
That's right. That's what we should have been called.
That's what we should have called it. You know, while you were talking, I was reminded of a song that's not on my list, but I want to share it anyway because it was like a dance kind of situation. The song Hey Ya.
Oh.
Do you know that one?
It almost made my list.
It almost made your list?
I mean, I've got paper I recycled that had it scratched out.
Really?
As a college song.
Yeah, me too. Hey Ya by Outkast?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure.
It got scratched up. It was like this close to making my
Well,
list.
let's share our stories. I mean, why not?
I don't know if I have. That was the thing I was thinking about. Is I don't know if I have a story other than like it really makes me think of college.
Yes.
The end.
Well,
But that's
no,
it.
I really have a story. I went to, like, you and I threw a dance. It was some mixer or whatever. And normally that is not my thing at all to go. But a bunch of my friends, I think it was a freshman, a bunch of them were like, let's go to this thing. And they played that song, Hey Ya. And I had never heard it before and I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny that we both, well, I didn't put it on my list, but I just thought of it. Okay. Cool story.
Yeah, thanks.
Closing Time, classic.
Yeah, point in time.
They played it on the radio all the time, and I have, I think, one of those type of songs on my list too.
Oh, cool.
But we might have to wait and see what it is. Are you ready for my next one?
Ready?
Okay.
Is the song It's Over Now?
It Must Have Been Love.
It must have been love.
Yeah, by Roxette.
So, like, I know the chorus to that.
Uh-huh.
But I can't think of any reference for you of where
Why
that
I would
yeah,
choose
where
that
would
song.
be.
It was the song, I mean, it was the song that was on the radio all the time when I was going to the public pool.
Oh, okay.
It was Crosby Public Pool, public swimming pool, and I would go there. I don't think it was at a time that my mom let us, go there on our own. Like, we used to ride our bikes there. I think it was early enough that she would be there with us.
Okay.
Just laying in the sun, maybe sticking her feet in every once in a while. But we would be playing, and that song would come on. I don't even, when would that have been? What year? I don't know. But maybe we were 7, 8 years old.
That's kind of a deep song for a 7, 8-year-old to really sink their teeth into.
Must have been love. Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it just was.
But it's over now.
Yeah, but it's over.
What do you think that meant to 7-year-old Deb?
Well, that, and then there was another song, "Heaven Is a Place on Earth."
Oh, that's
by Belinda
Twi-
Carlisle.
Oh,
Ooh, heaven,
yeah, but I don't
Oh,
know.
those songs.
Is it just because those are the ones playing?
Yeah.
And you're just around them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I heard them all the time.
Because pools are just playing a radio station, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the DJ would come on. I mean, when I hear a radio in the summertime, it takes me back immediately to the pool or going to someone else's pool. Oh, those are good times.
Yeah. I remember my radio exposure was mostly, obviously not at home because we weren't allowed to listen to the radio, but then after college, I didn't even really listen to the radio much at college because, I don't know, I just didn't listen to radio. But when I worked at the overnight shift, at Sam's Club.
yeah.
I think that's the only thing we could do was listen to a radio. I don't think we could turn on the stereos that they had laying out for.
Oh, no, probably
And so
not.
when you're listening to the radio between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.,
Yeah.
it's just the same
The same stuff.
4 or 5 songs.
Do
with
they
tons of
even have
ads.
someone that's DJing at
I mean,
all?
barely.
Yeah.
No, barely any. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't have a great opinion of radio.
Oh, I do. That was my jam. All right, Luke, it's your turn.
All right. Deb, I just want to inform you that we're moving from my high school career into the aughts.
Okay. All right.
The song came out in aught 2.
Okay. Good usage.
Something has to make you run. I don't know why I didn't call. My feel as empty as a drum. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
Oh, Nora Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
you could-
love Nora Jones.
Yeah, you could probably pick the spot, the point in time for this, which is not 2002 when the song was released.
Oh.
Yeah, so this
When was
didn't-
it? Like before that?
No, it was released in 2002.
Oh.
But when I was trying to think,
Oh, when
would
did it become significant? 2003, probably. Like
I
when
would
we were
say
dating.
even later, because
Oh.
this was one of our popular. So I would say 2005,
Hmm.
because this was one of our popular Zune songs. I don't think we had this album.
You don't think it was significant when we were dating?
I
Okay,
don't
I
think so,
remember
because-
that wrong.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that we didn't get this album until I had some weird Microsoft Music subscription, and that's why I picked it up.
Okay.
And I remember that was a Zune we had a Zune dock.
Yeah.
And we would play this.
I loved my Zune dock.
Yeah, we had a nice Zune with a Zune dock. We had 2 Zunes.
I mean,
with a
you would
Zune
just
dock.
plop
Plop
it
in there.
down,
It's magic, Deb.
and plug it in and charge it at the same time.
It was made by Altec Lansing, a great speaker company.
Yep, I remember
They sounded
those
really
words.
good.
Yeah, it filled up our whole small house.
It did, yeah. That was the start of us
I had
listening.
a brown Zune.
Yeah,
I
no,
took it to
I think I had a
Alaska.
white Zune. Oh, yeah. I think I inherited your brown. No, maybe you had a brown Zune and I had a Halo Zune, maybe. Oh. How dumb.
Oh.
No, Zune was great.
Zune.
Anyway, yeah. This has now turned into the Zune cast.
Can I this plays into some of my honorable mentions, some of the songs that were on my Zune.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And they really remind me of that time.
We've come to the segment in the podcast we'd like to call Zune Tunes.
Zune tunes. I mean, I took it to Alaska with me, and on it was Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie.
Oh.
And Ben Folds.
Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie.
Yeah. Big Girls Don't Cry.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's of a time. I just can't think of it.
Well, Big Girls Don't Cry was a song that
Right.
was made popular a long time before that.
By Cyndi Lauper?
No, it was an older group. Why am I not being I can't think of the name now. But it would have been on the oldies station, and then and then Ben Folds The Luckiest.
Yeah.
So those 2 songs for sure were it takes me back riding that plane to Alaska.
Yeah, because a Zune, you couldn't have every song. It's not like now.
No, I had a playlist of maybe 8 songs.
Is that really it?
Yeah, and I listened to it over and over because I wanted to leave space for pictures.
Why were we? It couldn't take. Could the Zune take pictures?
No, but I put my friends' pictures on the Zune.
Oh, they but what a weird thing.
I
What in
know.
the world? I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, what a weird life we lived.
I know.
Yeah, when everybody else was just getting into
Pre-iPhone.
everybody was getting into iPods and iPod
Oh,
shuffles,
yeah.
and they looked so sleek and so nice. We were
we got the Zune.
we were so bought into that environment. I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, you have.
I was also really bit in. Whenever Microsoft comes out for something, I'm like, that's where I'm going with, and it's come back to bite me a couple times. Do you remember when I got
with
really
the Zune and with HD DVDs.
I bought an add-on for Xbox 360 so
Yeah.
we could watch King Kong or something.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson's King Kong, I think I had
right.
on it. And that was like the only thing we ever got with it. Probably should have kept it because I bet that's worth a lot of money.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were like, no, this Blu-ray thing's
Blu-ray-
nothing.
I know.
It's
this
gonna
Blu-ray
die.
thing's this Blu-ray thing's not gonna last. And then Disney went Blu-ray and it was over. I knew it was over.
Yeah.
It was a hard pill to swallow.
I remember that.
Mad.
You were. I
was
I don't
anti-Blu-ray
care
for a long
if the
time.
Zune conversation is interesting to no one else. It
That's
was really therapeutic for me.
Big part of our life. Okay.
Is it my turn?
I think it's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
You just did Nora Jones.
I just did Nora
and by
Jones.
the way, Nora Jones was on my honorable mentions. I was hoping that
yeah.
it would come up.
It did. Good job.
But I wasn't able to pinpoint a song, so
Did I pick a good
thank
one?
you for doing that. Yeah, that was a good one. Here's the next one.
Bring it. What? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro.
I know, you know it, don't you?
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely know this is Getting Jiggy with It
Yeah.
by Will Smith. And I'm trying to pinpoint, I mean, this had to have been high school.
Yeah, it was.
And so I'm guessing high school dance. Is that the moment?
No. So it was this song and the song 3 a.m. by Rob Thomas and Everybody by the Backstreet Boys.
Rock your body.
To me, those 3 songs are like, it's
school?
summer,
Oh, yeah.
you're staying up late, and I would always watch the music, not always, but would watch the music videos
Oh, okay.
on MTV, and so I just remember those 3. It's 3 a.m., I must be lonely, getting jiggy with it, and I loved, I learned the dance, I liked dancing to it. Will Smith.
Does Will dance in the video?
Yes.
Okay, good
Yes,
for
he
Will.
does. Yep. And everybody, I mean, they're in this haunted house. They're all dressed up weird.
I've never seen any of these music videos.
Oh, That's when music videos were like still
Mm-hmm.
a thing.
Yeah, I just never. I watched ZTV, Deb.
Okay.
We've talked about
yeah.
that. The Christian MTV. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your turn.
All right. This next one's great. No, this is great.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, talk about point in time.
Yes.
All right, so Deb-
it's from DDR,
It is.
Dance
yeah.
Dance Revolution, but
It
I don't
is.
remember the name of the.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to.
Beethoven's.
It's actually called Classical Party Triathlon.
Okay.
Which, if you look it up, you'll see a lot of Japanese on the videos that's referencing, because I believe it's originally released in Japan, and so this is something. So DDR was a game called Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
And so it was a game where you would stomp on these like 4 directional pads. I think most people are familiar with it. I don't know if everybody is,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, I got a ripoff of that software called Stepmania.
Well, it was on your computer.
Right. And so I bought a bunch of different game pads, and we would hook them up. And so there's been a bunch of different times that we've had it all throughout college, but especially at camp.
Yeah.
We would like hook up these game pads to my computer and like set my computer by the TV, and we'd get there. So I had a couple of honorable mentions for songs that would have made my list for DDR games at that point in time.
Yeah.
So this one was released in 2006.
Okay.
And so it would have been all about this time, but I almost put on this list Kyrie
Oh, yeah.
and or Tough Enough.
Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
And there were some other ones.
I remember doing that one at camp.
Or like Butterfly.
so
that,
good.
Yeah, and there's just a bunch of weird songs. I still have that software. In fact, as I was getting ready,
I would play it.
As I was getting ready, I actually fired up and played through and tried to keep, because the other memory I have of this was we had done it on the dance pads, but then we got to the point where I think you and I were just doing it on the keyboard. So we would just pull up a laptop
With the arrows.
Yeah, just pull up a laptop and tap the arrows, which is still hard. It makes you think, how in the world did they do it on these dance
But
pads?
I got really good at that classical party one and could do it with the arrows, but like not with my feet. Too fast.
So anyway, that's a very moment in time.
That's
song.
a good one.
Yeah. And that is a reference. So if you want to think about the most indulgent this show gets, that's a reference 4 people will get in the world.
It was a good pull. Okay, here's my next one.
Okay.
Oily marks appear on walls where pleasure moments hung before the takeover, the sweeping insensitivity of this still life. Hide and seek. Trains and soaring machine catch me around here.
That's a very indulgent song. I mean, it's just funny to look back. I like that song. I really do.
Me too.
But like, as I'm looking back on it, I'm like they're expecting so much of their audience to just be like, we're just gonna like sing these weird tonal words, and you're just gonna drink it up.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
You're gonna love. This is so
Listen
artsy.
to it's very artsy and tonal and okay. So do you know what it's called?
Is it like what you say? I don't know.
It's called hide and seek.
Oh, hide and seek. I actually did know that.
Yeah.
Hide and seek.
But what you say?
What you say?
I mean, the reason I picked it was because it did sound so different, like artsy, and it really made me kind of just experience music in a different way. And it took me back to when we were teaching
Yeah.
at the Christian school. One of my classes, one of the students said, "Oh yeah, my brother listens to that song on the way to school." And I just remember thinking, I like the same music
As a high schooler.
As a high school, it was just weird. Like I was supposed to be the adult, and here we are. We're liking the same, listening to the same music on the way to school.
Right. And it
But
turns out
it
that,
happens.
yeah, music is transcendent.
Yeah, it does. It happens all the time.
There's probably an 80-year-old
Yeah.
widow in a nursing home that also
Listening to
loves
Hide
that
and
song.
Seek,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
But also, it was on SNL. Definitely a time in life.
All right, Debbie, you ready for my next specific memory?
Yes. It's so good. I love it. That's Jessica by the Allman Brothers.
It is, yeah. So,
From Guitar Hero.
yeah, so we went from the video game Stepmania to the video game Rock Band.
Oh,
is
okay.
what it was in. But it was also in Guitar Hero. We just didn't have Guitar Hero.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was in Rock Band. That was released in 2012. So this is after one of our daughters was born.
Oh,
So,
I
I
didn't
mean-
realize that.
Yeah, so like we had a baby.
We were still really into.
Yeah, we were really. So I brought this back to bring up the point in time where I got really into plastic peripherals, Rock Band
Yeah.
equipment. I had the full band
Oh,
setup,
yeah.
and like I remember we would haul the full band setup to other people's houses,
Oh, yeah.
and like
Home for Christmas.
Yeah, go home for Christmas. And I remember I was just that weird uncle who would show up to your house and be like, "Hey, I know that we're crashing with you, but can I set up my whole band in front of your TV so we can play this video game?"
I mean, it's fun.
It was.
I think it was fun.
We had a lot of fun playing it, but yeah, I mean, it was like that. We had Beatles,
Beatles,
rock
Rock
band.
Band.
I think we spent a bunch of money on like buying a bunch
Yeah.
of tracks. We just had, I really got
know.
into Rock Band. I remember when I finally sold our whole
That
kit.
was a hard decision.
That was. But and now I wish we had it because I think that'd be fun to play with the kids.
It
but
would be.
It's not a thing anymore. Like you can't, like they don't have new games coming out. You can still, there's still like you can still download stuff, but man, the plastic instrument craze that happened there
Yeah.
at the turn from the 2010s early on, like it was a big deal.
It was, and it was really fun. It was a fun party game.
Oh yeah, it was
but
great. You could just show up and
we're
like, oh
gone.
cool, I
We're
got
done.
Rock Band.
I think we got rid of it because like we just weren't going anywhere anymore.
Yeah, that's right. we had babies.
We did. We
Yeah, we had babies, and there was
we're like, hey, we're not playing this.
And in our brains, we're like, well, we're never gonna have fun again. So we're like, we're gonna get rid
you know
of
what?
this.
I think the logic you used. I think we said, what if we want to use it for our family? And it was just like, by the time they're old enough, they're going to come out with something different and
they
something
didn't.
new.
They this is what happened. They flooded the market.
Mm.
It was everywhere, and like there were so many versions
Yeah.
of the software, and just they flooded the market, and everybody lost interest. They tried to bring it back like a couple of years ago, and it just kind of flopped.
Well, I'm gonna cross my fingers that it'll come back seriously because
Yeah, it would be fun to play with the kids.
I would. Jessica was my favorite song to play.
Think of how many good songs you could introduce to the kids, and they could sing karaoke to.
This is a way that we could educate them on good songs, like music.
Yeah. They do have. I will say they do have for a lot of these. They do have PC equivalents. It's just harder to get your hands on the plastic
Yeah.
instruments. They're just kind of hard to
Oh
come
well.
by.
Well, it'll come back.
Yeah. All right.
I'm calling it. Okay, here's my next one. This I think this one will be a little obscure, a little hard.
Deep within each heart there lies a magic spark that lights the fire of our imagination. And since the dawn of man, the strength of just I can has brought together people of all nations.
Okay, I can tell you don't know.
I mean, it sounds like one of those like.
Uh-huh.
I believe the children are.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
doesn't it?
So it's supposed to be like motivational,
Right.
maybe.
It's like like maybe sung at like a world event for
Okay.
like a disaster relief or
Oh,
like
okay.
a children's like
brought together people of all nations.
Yeah, a children's hospital benefit concert or something.
Sure, yeah, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Do you know who the singer was?
No, that voice didn't sound familiar
Really?
at all.
Oh, one of the greats. Celine Dion.
Okay. Oh,
She's-
yeah, I guess she did chew on stuff there a little bit. She chewed on her vowels a little bit.
that French accent.
Is that what it is?
you were hearing?
I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe.
I think she's from Canada, but
Oh, okay.
French Canada.
Canadian.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think. So yeah, she is singing on a world stage.
Olympics.
Yes.
Okay. It's
Do you
like
know
the
what year?
theme song for the
Opening ceremonies.
ceremonies of the 1996 Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Oh, so good.
Means nothing to me. but
Really?
Really, I
It was
want you
the
to enjoy
year
this.
that the women won the gymnastics. The women's team won gymnastics. And I remember that song being played like kind of definitely in connection with all of that going on, and I was glued to the TV watching those girls win, and they would play the winning like routines and stuff like that over and over and over again. Either they played it over and over again, or I just watched it over and over again because I think Paige recorded it.
Okay.
And so I watched it a ton, and that song means so much to me.
So funny.
It's so moving.
The only reference I have, obviously now through you, but the only reference I think I had at the time to those Olympics was people making fun of,
Making fun of who?
well, the gymnast,
The girls?
yeah, the gymnast,
Carrie Strug.
Carrie Strug, when she like lands and her like
Yeah.
she's like holding her leg up like
Well,
Karate
it was
Kid.
iconic. Yeah, I know. Well,
Was that
she
fake,
broke
though?
it. No, it was not fake.
She broke her leg.
Not her leg, her ankle. Like she badly sprained her ankle.
Badly sprained her ankle.
And so she was doing the vault.
Yeah.
And she
yeah.
ran and she
but this
they
is what
were this close to losing.
Yeah.
They had a pretty big lead, and then they had some like different things happen. And Carrie had to land. I just rewatched this.
Oh, yeah,
Carrie had to land this vault. So she had 2 runs. And her very first run, she ran, vaulted, landed, but you could tell that something was off about her ankle.
Okay.
And she was walking back, and Bella, was his name Bella, her coach, he was like, you're all right. You okay? Shake it off. Oh, shake it off. Shake it off. That's what he kept saying to her. Okay. And so then she she gets ready to run her second vault, but everybody is very kind of concerned about her ankle. She runs, she vaults, she lands it, but you can tell immediately when she lands, she has to put her leg up. She kicks her leg up because she sprains her ankle or breaks it. I don't know what the extent was.
So she did it on the vault while she was doing that vault. She did it.
She her first vault is when a bunch of damage was done, but she did her second vault anyway. She through the pain, and then she
So that's what I don't. This is what I don't get, because that when I watch it back, it seemed like, well, you could run on it really well. Like she doesn't show any pain when she's running on it. Then she lands.
She's a beast.
Is that what's happening? It's not just.
It's the Olympics.
Okay, because every time I watched it, they played that up like it was the biggest fake job in the world. Like
fake?
Well, just or maybe over dramatic. I don't know.
Really?
I think don't you think whenever you've seen people do spoofs of it, they're just playing SNL. I know spoofed it a number of times.
SNL did that. Chris Kattan was Carrie Strug on SNL, and he sat next to her at the news desk, and his voice was really high. Because have you ever heard her voice?
No,
it's
like
insanely high.
Okay.
And so he was impersonating her, and that's
yeah.
that. And then I think there was somebody, either Bella himself, Bella came on the set of SNL, came out and carried Carrie maybe, or Chris, I can't think, but no, it was legit. She definitely hurt herself. She was not faking.
Okay. Not exaggerating for effect.
No.
Okay. Right,
what does she have to gain from that?
I guess it would be points. Do you think the judges are wow, she fought through it, that's a 10?
No.
No? Okay.
I've never ever thought that.
Okay.
But
Like I said, this is coming from the person who never watched it, didn't like wasn't glued to it, and only knew about it through people making fun of it.
okay.
So
Okay, yeah.
that's probably why that goes that way.
Why you're skeptical.
All right. Yeah. So my one's
So that was 1996. I'm jumping all
yeah,
over the
yeah.
place with mine, and then I just wanted to point out that was the opening ceremony. In the closing ceremony, Gloria Estefan sang "Reach." You know that song, "If I Could Reach Higher." No, so I was like, "Wow, a great
yeah.
opener and an amazing closer."
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the Olympics.
Oh,
not even
sad.
a drop. I know. What was I doing?
I mean, just other things. Some would say better things.
Summer.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably just walking beans. 96. Oof. But I was walking beans.
You were a freshman?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet I was trying
Working.
to make money. I wasn't doing it all night though. I don't know what I was doing at night. Who knows? Anyway.
Goldeneye.
Yeah, actually probably not. Okay, Deb, this is my last one.
Okay.
This is my last point in time reference song.
All right.
Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go.
Yeah, so this is probably a lot of people in our generation's point of reference song because Frozen, the song
Frozen, yeah.
Let It Go from
Yeah.
Frozen. Yeah, so this song kind of, or this whole movie kind of really blew up when our kids were just at the age where they got into
like
things.
4 and 3.
Right, we had
3 and
our
2.
two girls saw this and just got really into the music of it, and were so young. And it was just seemed like every other video online was somebody's beautiful, wonderful young child performing this song.
Oh, I know.
And so we have. I mean, I joke about this, but we watch family videos on shuffle, and it would be like every 5th song is another recording of our girls singing this in a different way. It's very cute.
It's so precious.
It's very precious, but like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. And we laugh because
I'm so glad we have those though.
Yeah. And we laugh because our second daughter is very dramatic sometimes, and like be the good girl.
Be the girl.
And she just was like just the tiniest little thing, and was getting so into the song, and like her face would rise and drop with the dramatics
and all
of the song.
of the movements.
Yeah, both girls really love the drama of this song, and so that is my most recent that I'm putting down. Obviously, there's more. My life now, I don't listen to music that I like anymore. I only listen to music that the kids like. So
that's not true.
That's not true. But I have really gotten into children's music. I listen to a lot of Disney. Listen to a lot of movie animated soundtracks.
Yeah.
And I put together playlists that I can listen to with them, and do a lot of that. So it's a good transition from music that are touch points for me. Now music is really touch points for the whole family.
The family.
Yep.
Yeah. I was actually really hoping that you would choose that one. It came to mind, and I thought, I hope Luke chooses that one, because I'm not going to use it.
You can't sacrifice a spot in your list for that.
No, I can't spare a square.
Can't spare one.
Okay, here's my last one before I give you my honorable mentions, because I just love music so much.
So many.
I cannot not name them.
Oh, yeah.
And then all I can
you
do is
owe
promise.
them.
I do. I owe it to myself, really, to just share what they are.
Yes.
So anyway, here's my last one.
Okay.
For now.
So I do know that. That is Love You Need You by Slushy.
Yes. Yes, 100%. Good job. Yeah, we don't use it anymore.
No.
And but every single time I hear it,
sure.
I get a little nervous, actually. It's shocking a little bit, but it brings back really good memories.
So yeah, if you are, and I don't think any of you actually exist, if you are a listener who has started listening just within the last 4 or 5 episodes, if you weren't with us from the beginning, you're probably not on board at all. only because I don't know that we've really like brought on new listeners. It's not like we're really widening our reach at all. We were just making, like we said earlier, we're just making things more and more specifically focused on things that only we love, and we are trying to alienate as many people as possible.
That's
and
the
make
goal.
make these unlistenable to anybody but ourselves. But yeah, that we used to our intro music.
Yeah.
I did pull it out because it was one of those things. I used to pay a subscription to a company to like be able to use this music from this licensing company, and I stopped paying them. But yeah.
Yeah. So then
But podcasts are really the wild, wild west. If we started using it again, nobody would really. But I did try to like I actually composed isn't right, but I mixed
for the one that we're using now.
We're using now is like an original creation and
we paid someone to say,
"Oh yeah, that's right.
Welcome to my darling's distractions."
Yeah, we did. We paid a.
So it's all on the up and up.
Yeah, we definitely paid that British man.
Yes,
$5
we
to
did.
say that.
Someday we'll meet him. Maybe
no, we won't.
No,
but
never.
he did say he did reply and says, "Are you sure that's all you want me to say?" Because I think when you pay him $5, he'll do like a 200-word script.
Oh.
So we still haven't found a way to use all of his. He said a couple other phrases for us.
Yeah,
and he gave us a couple of takes. So we still haven't found.
Maybe
a way
we can stick one of those in there.
Quiz me, baby.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I think I kind of throw mine in there. My big ones were like honorable mentions for our Stepmania / DDR Max.
Oh yeah,
and
those are really.
There
good
was
pulls.
there was actually a lot of them that fell onto the editing room floor for me were camp songs.
Oh,
I thought about songs like "Jumping in the House of God," "Gasolina."
Oh yeah.
Just all sorts of like even just like the Amen, Praise the Lord, Salty song, just things that we would do at like Rockabogis and things like that. There's a lot of songs that just did not make the cut.
Tons of memories.
But yeah, we're very specific. Like, oh, do you remember this from this summer at camp?
Yeah.
There would just be those songs that just really meant something. So those were my big ones. And then actually the other things that a lot of things I'm like, all right, I can't do this, were just a lot of video game songs where it's just like, oh, I remember playing this game. And I cut a lot of those. I almost put a couple of Mario 64 songs on there and just very memorable.
Yeah. See, and I have a lot of those where you think, oh, this is so good for me, but like,
yeah, not some for everybody else.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still gonna be like just so self-indulgent and just name a few.
Yeah, do it.
One of the ones that I almost picked was "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Oh, because didn't you have like students who really liked that?
Yes.
I hopped up the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame XX. Am I gonna fit in?
We just loved Hannah Montana, and that was just a big deal. And then I remember when I kind of learned some of the the sign language to it. That was really fun for me.
Anyway, yes, I remember that.
All Star. You remember that one?
Yeah. So we're this is really for you. You just really hit a stride. It would have been like late 90s, early aughts. There's just a couple of years there where you probably, and that makes a lot of sense. You're driving.
Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the...
I also put down on here, there was a time, like, I really went through a huge country music phase. Like, country music from the 90s was really big for me for a long time. And, like Shania Twain. And I just put down From This Moment On by Shania Twain. And Rebecca Lynn by Brian White. Jody Messina, she sang I'm All Right. And Tim McGraw. something like that. So I don't know. Just because I needed to pick one, I'll go ahead and put those on the Spotify list too.
At one point in time, I think I was asked what music I like, or that may have been a question that came up, and I remember saying anything but country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a period of time where now I've really come around on it.
I'm alright. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in sight, so I guess I'm doing alright. I'm alright. I got a good old friend here with me tonight, and I guess I'm doing alright.
Oh man, that brought back a lot of memories for me. But I think I'll stop there. And if you're interested to hear the rest, you can find my Spotify
How far did we
list.
make it, Deb?
I mean, I feel like I'm betraying a part of myself by not mentioning
I will say
everything.
I will say what you could do is you should just take a picture of your notes. You have a full sheet of paper.
It's fun.
So what I did is I went and I typed up, and I did write down a couple, but you can see I went and I typed up a nice tidy list of
there's
10.
1 through 10.
1 through 10 with like artist
The
and
year.
and just very minimal. And like Deb just has
Mine is
the scrawlings
Christmas colored green and red.
The scrawlings of a mad person as she's trying to somehow whittle down the amount of songs that she can talk about during this.
I know. And like sometimes I just have like artist names. Like, just everything Josh Radin ever did.
Oh yeah.
And Regina Spektor and Ingrid Michaelson.
You've went through some phases with like moments in time in music. You've just like really gotten into some stuff.
Latch on to it. And
I
mean, and like Josh Radin, for example, I played him like in my classroom at school.
You know what's nuts, or what's kind of bizarre to me, is you've gotten so into certain artists and like you'll just play them and play them and play them, but you don't ever go to concerts.
No, I don't.
And that's like, I just feel like that's the logical next like conclusion. But like you don't stick with somebody, like there's no artist who's been like your lifetime artist. I don't feel like.
I mean, there's just so many that I know I would enjoy. There's so many.
Like you don't have any T-shirts of any band that you like really are into anymore.
No.
I mean, and you don't go to concerts. It's like one of those things where like you become like a super fan to a level, but like it never broaches like really spending money on them. Besides, that might be the thing. Money.
I mean, I'll buy their song on iTunes or something like that. But yeah, I guess I just enjoy it enough in the car. I love listening to music in the car.
Oh, yeah.
So
who doesn't?
I don't know.
Only a sicko doesn't. Yeah. I love listening to music in the car. Only a sicko doesn't like to listen to music in the car.
I know.
I blast music in the car.
No, I know you do. But you said you didn't really have a good radio experience for a long time.
No. I mean, but yeah. You know that I had my Jock Jam CD. I had everything I needed.
Jock Jam.
I know, Deb. This literally, I mean, we're at, I don't know how many hours we've been recording. We're going to edit this down to like something reasonable. But like we could sit here until 6 a.m. just like going back and forth.
It's all so good. We just want to say thank you for joining us and thank you.
Is it weird that we have to like start, like we have to end every podcast by apologizing for like how like self-indulgent this last hour or whatever has been?
Oh, it's been so fun for us and hopefully for you too. And thanks for coming along on this journey with me, Luke.
Yes. So if you have, I will say, I'll put out to you, listener.
Yeah.
If you have a song that just encapsulates a moment in time.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your story.
We would so love to hear that song and your story. We will dedicate a short, like we would dedicate a whole podcast episode to your story. That we could like put out just shorts, don't you think?
This is our finally getting around to our Delilah episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, call in with your song request and dedication. And dedicate this to that one summer in 1995 when you were at the pool a bunch.
Oh my goodness, I am loving this idea.
All right.
Just pretend we're Delilah.
Pretend we're Delilah.
Please.
That's also maybe why you like Delilah's, because she takes every song and takes a story and matches it with the song.
Yeah.
It's basically what this podcast just was.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thanks everyone.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
That's right.
I've been Deb.
And I'm still Luke.
Good night.